You're listening to Embrace Your Snake, the #1 podcast for creatives and entrepreneurs that have big ideas and just need a little help to get them out into the world. I'm your host, Michael Jackson, and today we're talking about, I'm making a decision. I've talked about decisions before, and I love talking about that whole process of taking something that's in your mind and deciding to do that. One of the people I really love listening to who talks about decisions is Tony Robbins. And I just want to talk about some of the ways that he embraces the idea of decision making, some of the quotes that he said. I want to just list out some of my favorites, and then I want to talk about my absolute #1 favorite of his. He says, decision is the ultimate power. That's one of the things that Tony says, and that makes a lot of sense, right? You make a decision, you've got control of your situation, and bam, decision is the ultimate power. Something else he says is, it is in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Think about that. You make a decision, you decide to do something, and that's the direction that you go in. That is absolutely, that's power, and you're shaping your life when you do those things. So another one he says is, stay committed to your decisions, but stay flexible in your approach. And that is absolutely true. If you're going to do something and you're going to decide to do it, yep, you're on it and things will change. But if you've made a decision, you're going for it, and you need to stay flexible as you get closer to the goal that you've set for yourself. One more he says is, we can change our lives. We can do, have, and be exactly what we wish. That's the power of decision, right? You decide, I want to be a rock star. I want to be a race car driver. I want to be an accountant. I want to be a musician, an entrepreneur. Whatever it is, you decide, and that is what you become. That's what you should become if you stick to it. You don't necessarily become it unless you actually work at it. Another thing Tony says, and I love Tony, so we're gonna talk about him today almost exclusively. He says, knowing is not enough. You must take action. That is absolutely the idea. If you make a decision, you have to take action. So that's 5 things that Tony Robbins says about making decisions. Those are 5 that are really key. They don't stink. Those are all very good things to be thinking about when you make a decisions. But here's my absolute favorite #1 Tony Robbins quote about decisions. And I say this to myself and to others quite a lot. He says, making a true decision means committing to achieving a result and then cutting off from any other possibility. To decide means to cut off. There is no other way to go once you cut the thing off. And that is what most of us fail to do, is we'll make a decision. Oh, I'm going to have a hamburger for dinner. And then it's like, well, but I could have a chicken sandwich, or I could have spaghetti. So in that case, you did not decide. And that is the thing that keeps you from focusing and being committed to whatever action is that you want to get to. If you want to get to a goal in your life and you decided that you want to get there, you need to cut out everything else that is stopping you from getting to that goal. And the reason is, if you don't cut out those things, you're going to waver. You're going to go left and right and up and down, and things aren't going to get in order the way that you want them to get into order. Let me say that quote one more time. Making a true decision means committing to achieve a result and then cutting yourself off from any other possibility. Cutting yourself off from any other possibility. That is the meaning of making a decision. You have decided, you have cut off. And I love the finality of that. I made a decision to do a podcast every day. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to be writing music to become famous. I'm not going to be doing other activities that distract me from getting this podcast and this information to you guys, because that is what I have decided to do. Now, I can make some other decisions, right, in regards to my podcast, in regards to life. But as far as what I have decided to get my message out to everyone, because I believe this is what I want to do, I have decided that I'm doing the podcast. I would love to hear what it is that you guys have decided to do. Leave me a message and tell me, what is your decision? What have you decided today where you have cut off all other possibilities of being distracted, and you have focused on that with laser precision. I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a message in the comments if you're on YouTube. Send me an email and just let's talk about it. I want to hear. I truly believe that decisions are your power. They help you focus. They insist that you focus because you have now cut off every other thing that's stopping you from achieving your goals. This is Michael Jackson. Peace.